Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing a 2019 model year limited edition of 25 pieces. In DLC diamond-like carbon-coated stainless steel, this is the Urwerk UR111C-BLACK Cobra. The Black Cobra was the follow-up to the UR111 of 2018, and it was a update of the ruinously expensive 2009 Urwerk UR-CC1 King Cobra, which was itself an homage to a Patek Philippe prototype, the 3414, designed by noted stylist Gilbert Albert and engineered by watchmaker Louis Cotier. Well, the original Cobra is in the Patek Philippe Museum, but you can put this modern interpretation on your wrist. It is 42.1 millimeters from side to side. It's 15.4 millimeters thick, and then from extremity to extremity, the total distance across the wrist is 52.7 millimeters. Now, the watch wears nicely. You can see that there is a little bit of adjustability built into the far lug, but for the most part, what you see is what you get in terms of fit. On my 16 centimeters circumference wrist, you'll note that there's a little bit of a curvature that helps with the fit, but you don't want to wear this watch on a wrist much smaller than 15 centimeters circumference. My wrist at 16 wears it just fine. You can see it's an easy watch to view, almost like a driver's watch with a side scroll display. It is actually a regulator. It's got a jumping hour. It's got a minutes display that you can see there is a little colored band that indicates the current minute. It'll gradually travel up the helix until it retrogrades back. So yes, it's a regulator and a retrograde. The minute display is more conventionally portrayed on a roller over on the far right side of the dial. And then you have a fiber optic conduit that allows you to view the seconds. The seconds are displayed via meshing and scrolling seconds wheels. So that's what's going on right there. You're actually looking at a fiber optic conduit, and so from some angles it washes out, but for the most part it is remarkably sharp. Now, the watch is just full of features. Taking a quick look, by the way, I think you could wear this underneath a jacket cuff. The side is fairly sloped, so keep that in mind. It's a weighty watch, though, and a large one, so if your wrist is too small, this is probably not the match for you. The strap is an Urwerk factory strap. You can see it is in brand new condition. Black calfskin on the bottom. It's bolstered to give it some volume. It has textile with a stitching on the top. There's some gusseting to prevent gouging of the strap sewn in. And then we have a lovely buckle that is also DLC steel, and you can see that the pin has been polished, and then the buckle itself is media blasted matte, which is a nice contrast. The case itself is principally a very fine media blasted matte. It is black. There are also silver and gunmetal versions of this watch that came out the year before. The sides feature little hollows that break up the shear, and you can see that there's actually a rather unusual system built in for setting this watch. First, you pull this little lever out, which activates hacking. See how the second scroll is stopped? Now it's back. Now it's stopped. Now, I set the watch, see that little V, that's your directional indicator. I set the watch using this roller on the top, and you could see how the colored band and its retrograde system work. So, for example, right now, I'm looking at an easy 35. Now I'm looking at 45. You see how that works? You just read in the far right conical scroll. If you have any trouble reading precisely on the roller with the retrograde, just read the scroll. Now, if you look carefully, you could see that it is also a jump hour. It's not a scrolling hour, it is a jumping hour. So you've got a jumping retrograding minute display, and then you've got a jumping hour display as well. Now, when you reset the hacking lever, then the roller goes from a setting mechanism to a winding mechanism. So this is how you wind the watch. Now, internally, strictly speaking, it doesn't need you to wind it because it uses a Zenith Elite caliber 670 base, which has a winding action that energizes a 48-hour power reserve. Felix Baumgartner, who is the watchmaker and co-founder and co-principal of Urwerk, has created this remarkably complicated module that sits atop the Zenith base, and then co-partner and co-founder Martin Fry guy who is the industrial designer, has created this streamlined design that's reminiscent of high Art Deco in the 1930s and 1940s. This was the idea of the streamlined machine. It's evident in everything from the peak of the Chrysler Building to ocean liner Art Deco, and particularly on the road and on railroads where you had streamliner locomotives, and then on the street where you had cars like the Stout Scarab, like the Buckminster Fuller Dymaxion car, like the Rust Hines Phantom Corsair. And this watch in particular seems to owe a lot stylistically to the Phantom Corsair, so keep that in mind. That's where a lot of this machine age design comes from. Other specifications that are relevant to the movement: jump hour retrograde regulator, in as much as the hours, minutes, and seconds are separate. It has a 37 joule hybrid base and modular movement. It beats away at 8 beats per second or 4 hertz, and it does have a zenith base, so the base is very accurate and also very tough, and then all of this is water resistant to 30 meters. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. I'm back with the Cobra in the dark. You can see both seconds and the hour minutes displays are loomed, but only just.